Yo guys, what's up? Sleepio here. Today I wanted to show you a PTS build. It's, as you can see, 6-piece Tactician with 8k electronics. We'll come to it later why I run that high electronics. So to my guns, it's mainly for PvE at the moment. For PvP I would run different talents and guns. I will explain why and what. So for PvE, it's mainly have a lightweight M4 with ferocious, talented and determined. I mean, determined is obvious to get the ult and skill back. Talented gives me 15% more skill power for 20 seconds if I kill a target. So yeah, that's good as well. And ferocious to get more damage against elite and named enemies, which is in my opinion better than competent, since I don't need to use a skill and it's always active. So yeah, that's my main gun. As secondary I have a big Alejandro. As you can see, the base damage got nerfed as fuck. Compared to MG5, that's both are max, so 13.2k on a MG5 and 11.2k on a big Alejandro, so 2k less. More RPM, a big higher mag, and yeah, you have the talent. So I have determined and Swift because the reload time is super long on that one, and I don't know, I could play a damage talent, but I feel like Swift helps me more, and determined, yeah, obvious, right? So the talent cover shooter, every bullet fired at the enemy from cover increases weapon damage by 0.5% up to 50%. This bonus lasts for 10 seconds. Getting a kill with this weapon while in cover resets the duration. The bonus damage is cancelled by reloading, swapping weapons, or exiting combat. So yeah, you just get more damage when you shoot an enemy while sitting in cover. Which is pretty good for the build I'm running. Come to it later. So it's just I have Tactician chest obviously with stam, one piece in stam. Since they buffed the stam scaling, I have 460k toughness as you can see with only 4200 stam. That's why I have one piece in stam, just to get a bit high toughness. Then I have skill haze and health. I think they will never change, it's just the two best stats. And ammo capacity. Then the Tactician 2-piece is still 15% skill haze. The 3-piece 10% skill power. They changed the 4-piece, so that's why I basically made that build, because I kinda like the 4 and 6 piece. If you think about it, like I didn't really like it in the beginning, but now actually it's pretty cool. So every bullet you hit enemies with adds 1% skill power to you for a max of 30% bonus. Bonus on tuned on use skill. On skill use, sorry. So for 30 bullets on an enemy you get 30% more skill power. And if you use a skill, that's gone. So yeah, that's only for you, so your teammates can't stack your percent up. But yeah, I mean you need 30 bullets by yourself and you have 30% more skill power. So yeah, that's pretty good I think. 5 is another 5% skill haze and skill power. So you're sitting at 20% skill power and 20% skill haze. And then the increased Tactician's authority using a skill while at the max bonus will reset the skill power buff, but will raise the cap to 60%. So if I use my heal at 30%, it will go down to 0, but the cap is raised to 60. So I can hit 60 bullets to get a max skill power of 60% more, right? Using a different skill at 60% has a 50% chance to set the buff back to 30%. And to keep the cap at 60. So I used my pulse and raised my skill power cap to 60%. And then when I use the next skill, so the pulse at 60%, I have a 50% chance to set the buff back to 30% and keep the cap of 60%, if you understand. So a lot of percentage numbers, but I guess you understand. This chance is increased by 10% for every 2000 electronics. So I have 8k electronics, that's an increase of 40%. So 50 plus 40, it's 90%. So I have a 90% chance to get that. If I use the second skill at 60%, that it will only go down to 30%. And the cap is still at 60. That's a 90% chance to happen. So yeah, pretty good. You could also go for 10k electronics, but I don't know. Then I don't have the firearms to unlock some talents. And no stam at all really, so yeah, I choose to go do that. Probably 10k choice is better, but I don't think so, because the soft skill power cap is 450k, and you will easily reach that with the 60% buffs, because 60% on top of that is like 460k or something. So yeah, that's already over the soft cap of the skill power, which is 450k. So yeah, that's enough skill power. Then I have two mods with firearms and health, since I don't need any more skill power. I will come to it later. The mask is skill power and damage to elites and electronics. I mean, damage to elites for PvE is obvious, skill power as well, I guess. And I have a firearms mods with health. Then the knee pads, yeah, electronics, health, shock, disrupt, and damage to elites. So shock resistance and disrupt is, I guess, obvious. Shock resistance mainly for resistance, because the enemies have shock bullets at one point. So yeah, if you get hit by those, then at least you have some resistance. Damage to elites is, yeah, obvious. And firearms mod with health, and the mods are smart cover, damage, resilience. So now you probably know what skill I'm playing. It's a smart cover. So the backpack is again electronics, health, and burn resistance. I thought about skill power here, but as I said, with the 60% you're already over the soft cap, so I don't need that. And again, smart cover, damage, resilience mods, and one mod in electronics with health. Then the gloves are electronics, skill haze, assault rifle damage, and crit damage. Skill haze, yeah, because it's still the best roll on the gloves. Assault rifle damage as well, because it's my main gun. And crit damage, because if I play with a 4-man team, I will most likely have a guy with a pulse, at least a decent pulse with like 20 crit chance, and then the 17 crit chance, crit damage is worth it. So the holster, yeah, I mean, it's all min-maxed at the customization station. And this time I have health on the holster, because I don't need any more skill haze. I get 20% just from Tactician, and I think that's multiplicative. So I rather get health here. That's why I have that high toughness. So yeah, to my character. Yeah, with the... Oh no, I didn't show the mods on my gun, I guess. Sorry, I forgot that. So mag size and headshot damage everywhere. Crit damage on the barrel, because the M4 already has a decent reload time. And on the big Alejandro, headshot damage and mag size, no under barrel. So on the M4 I have 112 headshot damage, 70 crit damage, the crit chance increased by the pulse. Nearly 40% damage to elites, 24 enemy armor damage, both pretty good for farming or PvE in general. 38% skill haze, which is 3% too much already, because the smart cover recharger mode gives you 15% skill power, so I'm at 52 and the cap is 50. So 35 would be perfect, but you can't get 35, because I mean, if you have it on the chest, 9%, and on the gloves 9%, and then 20% multiplicative from Tactician, then you are at what was it? 38%. So yeah, I guess that's okay. Then max health of 305k, 33.5% armor, because everything is min-maxed. Yeah. Drop shock resistance, bit burn resistance. And yeah. So to my heals. This heal I use overdose, because I don't have vigorous and I want that overheal. It will, I don't know, I won't fully overheal me. With that skill power at least. If I have like 30 stacks or 60, then it will fully overheal me. I will show that in the end of the video, I think. How much skill power I have with 30 stacks and 60 stacks. And also with talented. You could also run the defibrillator, but that's nearly no self heal and no overheal for me, so I don't know. I choose to run overdose. And then yeah, as I said, smart cover, recharger mode gives me with the resistance mod 33.8% damage resistance with that skill power under 300k. So we have 450k, I will have over 40% easily. So yeah, 40% resistance if you sit in the cover. That's if you just use Fuck, I won't play crit save, so they're like 40%. That's pretty good. It will boost my toughness by a lot. 2 my talents, triage is obvious, I guess. Combat medic, strike back, and death by proxy, but I'm not sure if that's even worth, since with the 60 stacks I'm at the soft cap of the skill power already. So probably, I don't know, crit save on the move, steady hands if you sit in cover. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I guess steady hands, even though I don't need it. So yeah, that was my 6-piece tactician build for the PTS 2. And yeah, now I gotta show you the 30 and 60 stacks. Okay, I'm back. As you can see, 30 stacks. That's 360k skill power, 325k self heal on the overdose, 183k for the ally, and the smart cover gives me 38% already. So now I gotta use it. It's reset to 0. Now I should be able to get 60. Yep. Yep, 60, but I already have talented. Okay, I guess we're checking the best case. So best case with talented is 475k with talented. Without talented it's 440, which is nearly the cap, so that's pretty good. So my overdose seems to be 400k self heal now, 220 ally, and smart cover is on 42.6% resistance, like 14 seconds cooldown. The overdose at 19 seconds cooldown. Okay, station. I don't know if that spot is the best though. They can hide at the cover all the time. It's annoying.
Eliminate all remaining enemies. You've got 3 hostiles to go. I'm only seeing one more hostile. Better luck next time. The turret fortification has been attacked.
No skill cover, it's pretty high resistance. Yeah, the damage, that's actually nice with the damage in cover and the resistance from the cover, smart cover. Works pretty good.
That is when you sit in cover or what?
Yeah, when you sit in cover or when you're close to it.
You have 3 enemies
Like you can see it on your buff. Yeah, when you're staying still close to cover then as well.
Nice shooting
Just
out there.
go close to cover,
Looks like you've got
like
some
that.
EMP bursts inbound.
That should work. I mean, now we are not in combat, but in combat you will see when you are close to cover it works as well. It's that those 3 arrows up.
Yeah, I see those.
Okay.
Please,
That's-
your bets is still dealt in round 12.
10 seconds
Just
until
wanna
next
get, like,
wave.
50%.
Wait, let's unlock another room, I guess. Okay, that's dead end, so all spawns, I guess, where they spawn.
Warning. EMP blasts. Incoming.
Okay.
Turret fortification is
You
taking
go
fire.
here. Come up here. I think that looks like a good spot.
A turret fortification has reached critical status.
Yeah, and you can repair the turrets as well if they go down.
Yeah.
Looks like you got 5 hostiles remaining. Scanning indicates 3 enemies remain.
Hiding.
They're not moving, what the fuck?
I don't know what they are doing, dude. Fuck.
You've got 1 enemy remaining.
Can I join?
Dead
This
end.
is the last one I will do, then I will go up.
know where they are on the 2 other maps, but in this map, no clue.
A turret fortification is being targeted by the enemy.
Dude, they don't do damage. Good cover. I have determined anyways.
I'm seeing 5 enemies left.
LOL. Okay, they one punch.
Forgot about
Oh
that.
no!
It is